And welcome to Maverick Championship Wrestling's Shootout Wrap-Up Show. I am your host, the D-Train. And I am here to do what we do after every Maverick show, and that is wrap it up, right? Simple enough, easy enough to understand. We have a 30-minute wrap-up show to say what's going on in Maverick, what just happened on the show, or in general, just what's going on. So, thank you, Minerva. It's shared out the link two places. I'll get the third one real quick. And just like that, we are ready to go. So, first things first, it's time to wrap it up. Let's go over what just happened on the card that just ended. That's right. We were live from Orlando, Florida. 7-match card. 3 exciting shootout chamber qualifiers. Started off match 1 with one of those as Wild Matt Outlaw with his partner Shifty at ringside, able to pick up a victory over Super Nacho, and Matt Outlaw becomes the first one to qualify for the shootout title elimination chamber. Next up, we had the Deuces Wild Tag Title Group Round match as Molson Hustle took on Black Cross. And I got to tell you, Molson Hustle looked as aggressive as they have so far in Maverick, but in the end, Mordred Nightwalker turned it on, was able to get the victory over the Molson Hustle. Then we went back to a shootout qualifier match as Mr. U-Taker took on Ripper Springhill. Paul and Mrs. U at ringside did not matter to Ripper. Right in front of Mrs. U, he drops Mr. U-Taker and gets the pinfall victory. Ripper Springhill joining Matt Outlaw in the shootout chamber at the pay-per-view in 2 weeks. Then we went on to the ladies' number 1 contender elimination 3-way match. This match was, it was flawed greatly by a bunch of technical interruptions, but nonetheless, the ladies put on the match of their lifetime, all trying to become the number 1 contender. Wrestling Mama, Poison Ivy Pine, and Ann Bonnie. Ann Bonnie would eliminate Ivy Pine first and then turn around and get the pinfall victory over Wrestling Mama. Ann Bonnie becoming your number 1 contender for Knoxville Garris's Ladies of the Maverick Women's title. That also will be at the pay-per-view in 2 weeks. Then we go on to match 5. It was another Deuces Wild Tag Title Group Round match as the FBI, Big Tito and Antonio Bonomo, took on the Suffering, Pain, and Agony. In the end, the Suffering, Agony, way too much, all by himself, goes beginning to end. He gets the victory for the Suffering. Match 6 saw another shootout chamber qualifier match as Rain with Mighty Minerva at ringside took on Aiden Nightwalker with Mordred Nightwalker at ringside. Not that mattered too much as this fight spilled out into the crowd. At one point, Aiden Nightwalker sent Rain into what looked like a fan in the stands, but that fan was holding up a steel chair that caught Rain right upside the head. Looked like that would be it for Rain. However, he came fighting back, fought up into the stage left area, and Rain drops Aiden Nightwalker with an acid raindrop and picks up the victory. Rain, Ripper Springhill, Matt Outlaw all qualify for the chamber. They will be joined by 3 guys next week in qualifying matches as well. Then, lost my place, sorry. Go to the main event. 8-man ladder match for the Unleashed title. Saw Drum Monkey defending his title against Paul U-Taker, Jordan Brisson, the Air Rhino, Orcus, Victor Harris, Bastage, Demon, and the Drunken Dragon Clown himself, Shifty. This was chaos all over the ring, but in the end, the Drunken Dragon Clown would dance the night away as he becomes your Unleashed champion, winning this ladder match. So, there's the show. There's how it happened. There's how it went down. And just like that, another shootout is in the books, and we are here to wrap it up. So I'm going to turn it over to the members of the roster. And first up, she was at ringside for one big victory tonight for her group. Another person in her group won a triple threat match, so we're going to bring her out first. None other than Ruthless's own, the mighty Minerva. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Dee.
Always good to see you, dear. Another good night for Ruthless as Ann Bonnie becomes the number one contender for the women's title, and Rain qualifies for the Chamber for the Shootout title.
I mean, what can I say? It's always a good night to be Ruthless.
Well, I would agree, and most everybody else would disagree, probably.
They're entitled to their wrong opinions. It's fine.
That is true. I'm just going to show some of the chats out there as well. It's hard to welcome everybody. I assume you want to start with Ann Bonnie. I know the broadcast was interrupted several times, but Ann, as dominant as she's ever been, took care of both Wrestling Mama and Ivy Pine in this one.
I mean, I'd much rather finish with Ann. Oh, wait, that's not what you meant, is it? No, I'm very proud of my girl. I have been watching with pride as she's gone out and represented Ruthless well, and I think that you are going to have one hell of a women's title match at your pay-per-view.
I would agree. I think Knox Vulgaris versus Ann Bonnie will be a show stealer possibly. But there's a couple weeks between now and then. Obviously, Ann will stay the number one contender. I do believe Knox actually has a match before that. I don't believe the title will be on the line, but I saw her booked, so we'll see.
I mean, it makes no difference to me who Ann beats for that title.
I can't imagine the title would be on the line, but sometimes I get surprised by things at the last second too. So let's move on to Rain. Rain getting into the Elimination Chamber. I know you sat Laszlo out of the tag team last week and had Rain take his place there, and then Rain steps up tonight and gets the spot in the Chamber. You got to be happy with what the big guys started putting together here.
I mean, he was a great pickup for Ruthless. He's been doing a fantastic job since we brought him over to Maverick. And yeah, I'm very pleased with his performance tonight. That was a hell of a fight. And even with the Nightwalker sneaking someone into the audience, Rain was still able to pick up the victory. And it's what we continue to do here in Ruthless. And that's our plan for the future as well.
Well, I got to say, Rain has been distracted, I think, a little bit by Aiden Nightwalker. Him and Aiden have gone back and forth several times over the last 3 months.
It wouldn't be Maverick if you didn't have Ruthless fighting a Nightwalker, now would it?
That's probably true. Most of the time it's me and Morgan going at it one way or another. This time it's Rain and Aiden. I don't know. It's a little bit different, but kind of the same. That old saying, no matter how much things change, they kind of stay the same.
Yeah. See, you promise to always deliver the same quality Maverick product we know and love, and you're just following through on that promise.
Right. Well, I gotta say I'm a little disappointed. Orcus didn't come away with the Unleashed title, but in fairness, he was probably the smallest guy in the match.
I mean, he's often the smallest guy in the match.
Yeah.
I mean, would I've liked to have seen him win the title? Of course I would. But I don't really feel like your performance in an 8-man ladder match is really a reflection on you as a wrestler. I mean, any idiot can climb a ladder. I'm not mad.
That is true. And any idiot did as Shifty danced his way up the ladder.
It was a good night for Shifty and Matt. I have to say, I still have a soft spot in my heart for Matt Outlaw. I'm glad to see him and his partner doing well.
I agree 100%. Obviously, I was partners with Matt for years. And Shifty and I have always gotten along and put on great matches against each other. So it's fun to see him and Matt taking it down that road. However, I have to point out they were both successful in singles matches tonight. Their tag team, not so successful so far.
I mean, not everyone can be Ruthless, so I'm not gonna sit here and weep over any tag team that's not wearing black and white not doing well.
Gotcha. I agree. What else do we need to talk about there? I think we covered the bases pretty well. We didn't talk about the Deuces Wild matches tonight. Black Cross and the Suffering both victorious.
Isn't Mordrin supposed to be retired?
He came out of retirement. He was called out by Crimson Ninja to team up, and he answered the call.
Apparently it's doing well for him because they won that match tonight, and then
they won the match. But I will say, in comparison to the first match, Mordrin definitely took the leadership role tonight. He stepped up and kind of dictated the match. Took control. Last match, I thought he let Crimson do what he could do, and that didn't work too well for him. So it's interesting to see tonight Mordrin take the lead role.
Honestly, it's what I expected, especially after the performance last week. Really, if you had a choice between having Crimson Ninja in charge of your team and having Mordrin Nightwalker in charge of your team, which one would you pick?
Well, as long as I'm not on the team, I wouldn't pick Mordrin, but
say you had a vested interest in the team doing well.
Well, yeah, then I know Mordrin's a double tough competitor firsthand. So, and with that, I probably will slide you back right now because I do have another caller. Came in while I was doing the wrap-up part, but hang out. Might bring you forward in a little bit because there's somebody else there that makes sense to bring you in with. So, since we're talking about the guy, it makes all the sense in the world to go ahead and shift over to him. I would like to welcome none other than Mordrin Nightwalker to the show. How you doing, sir?
What the fuck is up, D?
Not much. I guess you heard me and Minerva were kind of talking about y'all's tag match. So it makes sense. Bring you in. Let's talk about it. Black Cross not doing too well last week, but this week, completely different thing. Looked like a new strategy. I assume you'll verify that.
Well, definitely a very new strategy, and you did touch a little bit on it. The first week, I did want to see what more he could do. Anyone that's known me in the last several years, I've only had one tag partner. So definitely an adjustment phase, getting used to working with someone different. But this is a tournament.
And that's kind of the interesting part of this. Of all the people I thought you might team with, your son makes sense. Or another Nightwalker, but Crimson called you out of left field, and you went ahead and accepted that. Curious the thinking behind it.
Well, it intrigued me. I've been slowly getting back into active competition around the world, limitedly. And it intrigued me that he actually, would actually stand up and ask. Because, like you said, most people would have actually assumed it'd be, Aiden or one of the U-takers I had the huge following and family time with.
Yeah.
But that someone completely outside the box, stood up and said something intrigued me. And then he did do me a favor. So I figured we'll see where this goes.
Gotcha. You're referring to stepping in 1 week for James because James was double booked.
Yes.
Gotcha. And that went well, I will say. Him and Victor did well together, so it made sense. Of Victor and James, which one do you feel is more like you, and which one is more like your former partner? I think that's kind of who they're built after, right? You and Bagwell.
Well, Jake definitely had a hand in helping train them as they were coming up. I've been working with them for the last couple of years. Being my oldest grandsons, I wanted to see them do well. If I had to pick one, I would probably say James taking more after me with more of the just brawling and just out fighting people. Jake was more of a technician than I was.
True. So then Victor models himself a little bit more after Jake?
I would say if I had to pick one or the other, I would say Victor more after Jake. Both of them very dedicated to their striking game. They have no less than 3 cycles a week. And nothing but strikes in their training.
I gotcha. So Aiden was on fire when he first showed up back here in Maverick. Has definitely cooled off the last couple outings. What's going on with Aiden?
We're working on that. I think part of it is he started off so much on fire that he started to kind of believe his own hype. And I've had to slap him upside the side of the head a few times, and I've already done it tonight, and I'll probably do it again tomorrow.
Gotcha. Did the strategy of Rain taking it to the crowd with 8, was that something y'all talked about, discussed? Was that an idea you had, something that would work?
It's something he's supposed to be prepared for. I mean,
Well,
irregardless.
I mean, I know I'm the only one that saw it because of technical difficulties, but it looked like y'all were more than a little bit prepared for that to happen, as somebody in the crowd was brave enough to lift a chair and help Aiden in that match.
I heard about that, but I can say I didn't put anybody in the crowd. Now, I have taught Aiden to take advantage of a situation that presents itself.
Okay. So,
I mean, like you've been in the business for years. If you see something there, you can hit somebody with, you hit them with it.
Agreed.
You don't care.
Agreed.
You don't care who put it there. You just hit them with it.
For a fan to have enough, well, these are the Maverick fans. I guess it doesn't surprise me too much, but for a fan to lift the chair up and purposely hold it there, I don't know. It was a little surprising to me, and it looked like a Nightwalker plan. I've been in enough matches and seen enough of your matches to know to expect everything with you. So
yeah, but you also know I'll tell you when I do it.
This is true. So the fact you're saying you didn't have it planned, maybe it was just coincidence. But boy, Rain turned it around on you, and he dropped Aiden with something fierce up there on the stage. I got to admit, I've never seen him do that before. The acid raindrop usually finishes most people. Obviously, Rain and Aiden's history, Rain hasn't been getting the upper hand on him. So he came up with something new, and it seemed to work tonight.
That it did, and we'll go back and we'll dissect it in between his triples this week he gets for losing.
All right. Well, while I got you, I'll give you one chance. Anything else you want to share with us while I've got you?
Yeah, there actually is something.
Oh boy.
It's funny, you and Minerva were talking about it earlier, and I know you've seen me making phone calls and doing notes and contracts. But you touched on an interesting point earlier that it wouldn't be Maverick without Ruthless versus a Nightwalker, and that's not exactly true. It wouldn't be Maverick without Ruthless versus Eternity.
Oh shit! The 3 fingers sideways shit. All right, where are you going with this?
Guess who's coming back?
I don't guess. If you say Jake, I'm gonna be floored.
Oh no, the actual members. I'll announce when I'm ready. Just know, I've already been in faxing contracts back and forth with the actual committee and everything, and it's a done deal.
Oh, so Eternity's gonna be gracing the Maverick with their presence again.
More than gracing. You've said it yourself on shows. I'm the one that brought the Universal title here.
This is true.
I'm one of the highest decorated competitors in the digital Maverick history.
Also true.
And we're doing it all again.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, I see some grins out in the audience that kind of tell me the direction it'll be headed. And it won't be too surprising, but I'm sure, knowing you, there will be surprises also.
Of course, it wouldn't be me.
All right, Mord. Well, I can't say I look forward to it, but it has always brought great Maverick television. So, from that standpoint, we'll see how it goes. Blaze is grabbing his popcorn. All right. I'm going to fade you back out to the green room. I got one more guest to get to tonight, but always good to hear from Mordred. Always good to hear from Minerva. This man, though, I don't hear from as often, and that's kind of strange because we have a great working relationship, and behind the scenes, I know I can go to him for anything. Ruthless has been making their name known since Maverick relaunched, and this man deserves that credit. Minerva seems to be spearheading it on the small front, but the founder of Ruthless Incorporated, none other than Bill Haight, welcome to the show.
Thank you, D.
I imagine you're not as surprised as I am that Eternity's making a comeback. Probably
no, not surprised at all, honestly.
Something you counted on, I'm sure, because you're always one step ahead of me. I'm just the goofy wrecking ball that clears the way usually. So, I don't know if you want to start there or you want to go into the night's show. I mean, Minnie and I are always talking about how good of a night it is to be ruthless, and
our Ann did very well tonight. So I mean, so did Rain.
Yeah, Ann and Rain both victorious in key matches, getting themselves in the title picture. Also, Orcus and Laszlo have been tearing up the tag team division. Got to think that that's going to lead them to a good spot as well. Who else? Oh, the Fabulous Ruthless Twins, of course, my daughters. They've been doing well. So it's good to be ruthless. Obviously, the opposition has to build up, right? For every positive thing, something negative is building to counter it. And it looks like Eternity is that thing.
I mean, we can be honest about it. Eternity and Ruthless has faced each other in many, many places, and we have burned down the fucking buildings and when we are in the ring.
We do. And Rain and Aiden, I think, are a more modern example of that. Rain and Aiden have had a rivalry going here since we relaunched, but you can go back through the years and list off numerous Eternity versus Ruthless matchups that have had that exact same effect.
Yeah, there's only one other group, one other stable that I can think of that has more history than Ruthless and Eternity, and that would be Ruthless and Steel City Committee.
Gotcha, yeah. Steel City Committee, more so in the LTD or Lethal than here. Steel City Committee's been weak, honestly, in Maverick. Shmoo and what was the little guy's name? I can't even remember his name half the time. They would come in and out of the tag division. Man, Tyson Parker. Geez, Blaze is going to kill me out there. But
I just seen a nice little message from Brandon. Let me say something on that real quick, if you don't mind, D.
Yeah, go for it.
Brandon, there's a reason why I won't be in a Maverick ring. I have fully retired from Maverick, but I have found me a little bit of a monster to take my place.
Do tell. So we got more Ruthless coming.
Of course.
I actually already knew that, but I still don't know who it is because, as always, as the booker, I try to stay as impartial as possible. Obviously, I'm ruthless. I make no secret about that. But whatever Minnie and you have planned for the Maverick, I would rather not see or not know it's coming.
Wow. I mean, put it this way. This man loves Japan just as much as I do.
Oh, all right. Well, that I have an idea. I will say it at that, and I will leave it at that. If that's where you want to leave it for tonight, I get it. I do believe it's somebody that you actually had come over and do some security detail for me this week. As some people know, I got attacked last week between the shootout show and the wrap-up show and did make the wrap-up show. So I had some security out back, and I believe that's probably who you're talking about.
I mean, when you need help and you need security, we bring the best.
Gotcha. Well, let's see. You wanted to talk about him, and he suddenly showed up. I've only got a few minutes left, so how about I just keep you here and bring in the man you just talked about?
Go for it.
All right. Brandon Ace, welcome to the show. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm doing fine, but I'm just a little bit pissed off. Like, I'm not going to be here that long because I need to say something. And I don't care if people get mad on here. They can go piss off.
Okay, what do you got to say?
This is a message to all the old, decrepit, wanna-be somewhat retired motherfuckers that are coming back. Stay fucking retired. I understand that you want to live your glory days, but that's all in the past. Leave the wrestling to the young guys, the people that are going to be the future. I swear, you decrepit motherfuckers are fucking selfish. You don't give a damn about the young generation. You only come back so you can get back the glory for yourselves. Pathetic. You guys should be ashamed.
Well, I have to say, first of all, Brandon, I think Bill was clear. He's not coming back. He might be bringing somebody back, but not him himself. So I have to assume the person you're really directing this at is Mordred.
And do I care? This is a man that has like multiple kids and finally used common fucking sense to finally get a vasectomy.
He's not lying there.
Well, okay, Mordred's in the green room. Let's just pull him in here to defend himself.
So
this would be
you finally found a set of balls from someone, but I tell you right now, spit them out because they're not fucking yours.
Oh boy, here we go.
Why did I come back? Because I can. Because even at twice your age, I'm still 4 times the man you'll ever dream to be.
Yeah, how about no?
How about I beat your ass plenty of times? How about the only reason you don't want me back, tell the truth to the world, is because you know the minute I get a hold of you, I'm going to put your chin in the 5th row.
Please. If you get in the ring with me, chances are you're going to end up breaking that back of yours. You forget. Back
my
then,
back's just fine. I've carried people like you all my career.
Please. Look, I used to be
And
that
I'd
young
knock 'em
boy
out.
back then. Shut up. Let me speak.
You speak when I damn well tell you to speak. You called
Really?
me out, so now you sit down and shut your cocksucker.
Oh, really?
I'm the East Coast
Oh.
bastard. I'm the one that's put this company on the map, while little bitches like you carried my fucking bags.
That may be the
And
point,
anytime
but this is...
you think you're a man up to step to me, wake up and slap yourself and call me and apologize, and I might not break your jaw.
One, I'm not going to apologize for anything I goddamn said. You know what? Hey, D-Train, how about you put me in a one-on-one match against this old fucker, Nightwalker? Because I want to make a point that his time is up and my time is now. Because I'm going to show him I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of nobody.
You ain't got to be afraid to get knocked out. And trust me, you will get knocked out.
Trust me, I'm not that hard to knock out. Trust me.
Oh, I know you're not hard to knock out. It'll be easy. You said it yourself, you're not hard to knock out. You're right. It's going to be real easy. The music's going to hit. It's going to be chin check out of 5.
I like to see you try. I like to see you try that.
All right, all right.
On Sunday, boy.
All right, I'm going to fade everybody out as we're coming up on the end of the show. I got to say, I love where that went. It went quick, and I didn't have a lot of time left for it, which is why I say every week, get in early so that I can get more time like that. That's what we want, back and forth, mixing it up. Brandon, I heard your request. I'll definitely get it over to the committee, and we will see what happens from there. Your slate is pretty empty until you get your shot at the Shootout Championship. So there's definitely room there. However, Mordred's very busy in the Deuces Wild Tag Team Tournament right now. So whether we can slip it in before or after the pay-per-view, kind of up in the air, but I bet Brandon Ace versus Mordred Nightwalker will happen eventually. I want to thank Minerva, Mordred Nightwalker, Bill Haight, and Brandon Ace for joining me tonight on the show. We are hitting that 30-minute mark, and like I say, it's going to be a 30-minute show. I want to do more of this, so I hope all of you get in earlier so we can get you on that show more often. I appreciate you for tuning in, but for now, D-Train is out of here. And I tried to turn off the PS4. Boy, do I feel stupid. Bye, guys.